I wanted to teach my grandchildren, and I came up with this book, what we call Harvest of Joy, Harvest of Joy. And in this, I have my 15 points of philosophy, which I'd like to read to you in there because it tells you my philosophy and why I've been so rabid about these things. And my memory is getting, when you get to be 90 years of age, I want you to realize your memory begins to slip, and at least mine is, and I realize it, and that's why I have to write everything I do now. Although there's blessings as you get older, you begin to accept differences in opinion. It don't bother you like they used to. Before I used to try to change people. Now I don't try to change people. Oh, you can influence them, but not change them. I said, my philosophy is covered mainly by the following 15 points. And this I did for my children and grandchildren. And I went to Italy. I took them all to Italy, and I said, I only want a half hour of your time in the morning. Well, instead of a half hour, we spent a whole morning. They were discussing. Then when we got through, I said, why don't you write a book? Or somebody wrote a book. I'm not a good writer, so I had Paul Chutkow come in, and I spent 18 months with him to really get the feel of it. And in fact, he went to my hometown where I was born, and also where my parents were born, just to get a complete flair. But we spent 18 months in writing the book here. And I spent 18 months with him, interviewing and all over that period of time. But we came up with these principles here. My philosophy is covered mainly by the following 15 points. First and foremost, you must have faith in yourself. Second, whatever you choose to do, make commitment to itself, and then pour yourself into it with your heart and soul and complete dedication. Third, interest is not enough. You must be passionate about what you do if you want to succeed and have a happy life. Find a job you love, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Fourth, establish a goal just beyond what you think you can do. When you achieve that, establish another and another. That's exactly what I did. This will teach you to embrace risk. If I thought I could get as far as I got here, I would never believe it. But if I took one little thing at a time, I began to build, and that built, and I went way beyond my expectation. Fifth, be completely honest and open. I never had secrets. I never have. I would share my knowledge with others if they would share with me. I always had confidence that there was enough room for all of us. But you have to have that confidence, otherwise you don't do these things. Sixth, generosity pays. So learn to initiate giving. What you give will enrich your life and come back to you many times over. Seven, only make promises and commitments you know you can keep. A broken promise can damage your credibility and reputation beyond repair. 8, you must understand you cannot change people. I used to think I could. So accept people the way they are. Accept their differences and try to work with them as they are. I learned this late in life, and it's amazing what peace of mind I found when I finally understood it. It took me a long time, because I tried to change all. They got common sense, we'll use common sense, especially brought up in the family. I thought, oh, we were brought under the same environment. Do you know we interpret the same thing differently? 9, to live and work in harmony with others, don't be judgmental. Instead, cultivate tolerance, empathy, and compassion, and never berate people, especially your children, in front of their cohorts. This can be dispiriting. This I didn't realize. This can be dispiriting and damaging to them, and it is counterproductive for you. As I've learned, if you want to teach someone to fly, you don't start by clipping his wings. Actually, I thought, let's lay the cards on the table. Be honest and face it, and let's straighten things out. It didn't work. What I did, I discouraged my oldest son and all, and really, it wasn't smart. and I find that it doesn't pay dividends. I felt that it would in time, but with me, it hasn't worked out that way. So if I had to do it over again, I would do everything in privacy. I wouldn't talk in front of other people. 10th, human beings experience the same thing in very different ways. Two people can live through the exact same experience and come away with totally different understandings of what happened. So between people, there is always a large space for misunderstanding. Always be alert for misunderstandings and tread lightly, especially when it comes to politics, religion, or moral standards. It's amazing. But you have to live in order to appreciate it and to do some of these things. I mean, it's amazing. You think you know it all when you're younger, and as you get older, you begin to realize what happened. 11, it is very important that we understand each other. We need to learn how to bridge those spaces of misunderstanding, and that is not easy. To do this, listen carefully. When you talk, be sure people understand you. On important issues, have people repeat back to you what you've said to make sure there are no areas of confusion or conflict. You'll be amazed how often many people misunderstand what you say. 12, rarely will you find complete harmony between two human beings. But if you find it, maintaining this harmony requires individuals or soulmates to have complete confidence in each other. Make time to be alone, to share experiences, and appreciate together precious moments and the beauty of life. Open all of yourself to that person, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and intellectually, and always. Always leave time for playfulness and laughter. There is no better tonic for keeping love alive and vibrant than laughter and good cheer. 13, in both life and work, stay flexible, whether in a country, a company, or a family. The same holds true. Dictatorship and rigidity rarely work. Freedom and elasticity do. 14, always stay positive. And remember this, America was built on the can-do spirit and will continue to thrive on the can-do spirit. I hope we remember that and keep that up, especially what's going on today. 15, out of all of the rigidities and mistakes of my past, I've learned one final lesson, and I'd like to see it engraved on the desk of every business leader, teacher, and parent in America. The greatest leaders don't rule, they inspire.